African Rainbow Minerals is a diversified miner and minerals company previously known as Lavan Mining. It has major iron ore assets and executive chairman and controlling shareholder is none other than Patrice Motsepe. The group has a price to earnings ratio of 11.6, dividend yield of 2.6% and a market cap of 43 billion rand. Can't fault the African Rainbow Minerals story, can you, Paul?
Yeah, it's basically an iron ore story because they have that 50% plus control of associated manganese, which is an iron ore miner mostly out there in the Sishen area, similar to Kumba iron ore. It's also got some interesting platinum assets and a useful nickel asset. And the company has done well again in recent weeks, picking up just generally on the firmer iron ore prices. Indications that iron ore demand out of China were perking. So the minute the price softened, they saw a whole lot of buying out of the Chinese mills, stockpiling. And I think just generally the feeling out there is that this idea that China is going to crash and have a hard landing and have economic growth which goes down into the low single figures is just nonsense. There's such enormous economic momentum there. I mean, you were in China last week, Bronwyn, you must tell us.
Absolutely.
It just looks like it's not going to stop anytime soon.
Certainly discussions on the ground at the World Economic Forum in China, in Dalian, were very, very positive. There was a big focus on the Asian economic outlook. And Paul, I think you're right. I think we are probably being a little too negative on this side of the world. Certainly on the ground, it's upbeat. Lavan, in terms of African Rainbow Minerals, has it been one that you have invested in previously?
Well, we've been in and out of ARM. For now, the Harmony exposure has been a drag on their earnings. You'll remember that Harmony had production issues because of strike action. And so this has dragged down some of their earnings. They still managed to deliver about 7.5% increase in terms of headline earnings per share, and that has been the attraction. Portfolio buyers happy to collect shares of ARM and hold on to this. When you look at a variety of gold and platinum counters, this mining stock and probably a baby mining stock when you compare it to Bulletin or Anglos.
Well, I don't think Patrice Motsepe is going to like you calling African Rainbow Minerals a baby mining stock.
Well, it's not really in the same league as the rest of them, but it has found its way into a number of portfolios, and certainly its exposure to base metals means that earnings will look consistent and probably richer next year.
Paul?
Yeah, look, 43 billion, so Patrice hasn't done badly. I think the gold thing is real, though. I mean, Harmony took a massive write-down on its Hidden Valley asset in Papua New Guinea. Do you know that a couple of years ago, they could have sold that asset to an international player for multiples of what the entire Harmony market cap is now? And they said, no thanks, we think it's a fabulous asset and we'd like to develop it ourselves. So the rest is history. It's done very poorly in recent years. The share price has gone backwards. It's just about halved in the last calendar year. And that's because the gold price has gone backwards and they've had to take valuation write-downs, production issues, as Lavan has indicated. So that's definitely a net negative for African Rainbow Minerals. But what can you do? That's a non-managed investment. The real interest in ARM is, of course, the iron ore business. And that, I mean, I'm still pretty positive about.
Hot or not on ARM? Lavan?
I'm hot on ARM.
Paul, hot or not?
Yeah, I think so, because the iron ore story really powers it higher. So still hot on it at this 200 Rand a share level.